I recently played Pacific Drive, and by recently, I mean 3 months ago before I procrastinated on this video. To describe the game, I'd say it's like those scientists from Annihilation if they used cars instead of walked everywhere. I think it's reasonable to say if Natalie Portman was driving a Aston Martin, that bear scene would have been over in like 3 seconds. In fact, I find most problems in life can be solved with an internal combustion engine powered metallic chariot. In an automobile, not even God can stop you. On the racetrack, they call me Thunder McKing, the best racer in the Southern Hemisphere. Some even deem me worthy of the title, Ultimate Racist. If you know me well, you'll know that I'm a visual learner, meaning to get as good as I currently am, I at one point had to see someone drive 100 miles an hour through a school zone before knowing how to not do that. This is also how I learned to pleasure my wife.
I've seen her fuck other men.
No license, no problem, but more like no license plate, no problem, as I stop for nothing and nobody, not even those funny blue lights on the highway that annoyingly chase me down. And all because I drank an entire congregation's worth of the Holy Sacrament. You see, officer, if you arrested me, that would be a blatant attack against religion and free expression. Wait, officer, you'll let me go if I do a simple breathalyzer test? I knew you would see reason.
100% pedophile.
All this is to say that to succeed in Pacific Drive, to become the Hokage of the hidden speed village, you must learn the 5 Ds: dodge, duck, dip, and of course, drive. Because that's what you'll be doing 90% of the time. Or did you play Pacific Drive and what, expect to walk? No. You monkey. That's the prequel. Pacific Drive is kind of a roguelike. I don't even know what these categories mean anymore. I say anymore as if I ever knew. How'd I even describe this? It's a, when you die, you get teleported to the beginning and lose all your stuff. Like, because as far as a normie is concerned, which I'm not losing stuff. When you die, it wasn't a thing before Dead Cells. I don't know, did Skyrim's a Souls like now because they both use swords.
I need to collect all their foreskins.
The basic cycle is you set a route through the beautiful Pacific Peninsula, looting, upgrading, and working shop, and making it out before the Fortnite Storm Circle kills you. I can count on one hand the amount of times I actually failed to return home. None of which were my fault. Just to be clear, none of my deaths in any game have ever been my fault. Like, once I died in a storm driving an electric car after I ran out of battery, thinking that I was running on regular old black gold. You see, the game allows you to go green. However, all I saw when I went to upgrade my rig were the big horse numbers, to the exclusion of, literally everything else. Customization is nice, but let's be real. Everybody uses the same sprays, but there is an art to it, a skill, as your vehicle becomes an extension of your body. When you hear the terrible scraping sound of your back door colliding with a lamppost, you cringe because you feel its pain. Unless you're one of those colorblind deplorables that make Lego Space Marines. Gents, you must treat a car like you treat a woman. Very respectfully. You do not get drunk inside of her, or slam your fist on her roof when she stops working, or sell her to a stranger when she gets too old. And now I'm done with this bit. I'm too far past the edgy years of my youth to entertain this further. And as I'm not Johnny Depp, I don't know where the line is.
Whoa, calm down, Jamal.
The game doesn't tell you what anything is or does, not even in the lore tab. Not that I actually read any of the tutorial pop-ups, like, come on dude, I've played games before. Now, be reasonable, Your Honor, I know what speed limit signs are, but if I didn't read it, it's that family of five's fault, not mine. No, you're right, Your Honor, I should have said was their fault. One time the game did this, for example, was with things like anomalies, which are described as spooky, scary, interdimensional monsters. Now, maybe I missed the prompt or item description, so I didn't know that you can distract an anomaly. So while casually exploring in a dank, dark, abandoned science lab, I popped a flare and suddenly got the Steam achievement Sleight of Hand, which read distract an anomaly with a light source. This was particularly worrisome as I was standing next to said light source, and didn't even know where the anomaly was. I had become the butt of a Scooby-Doo joke.
Is there anybody in here?
I have to say, I've never been scared by a Steam achievement before, so points for creativity. And speaking of Steam achievements, I hate them. They taunt me, like I taunt my neighbor's dog with peanut butter. This one I unlocked is called Driver's Ed Dropout. Forget to put the car in drive before hitting the gas 20 times. Yeah, well, how about this? 0 out of 10, bad game. Also, devs, that's a nice office you got there. 123.89.46.7. It's a bad taunt anyway. I mean, it's understandable not knowing what a clutch is. No one out of 35 does. Or any of my Counter-Strike teammates for that matter. The achievements even attempt to chastise me for crashing, but Unlike the cowards that I share a highway with, I'm not afraid of wrapping my car around a tree. In fact, I embrace it. Only through trial and error do you become as slick as I, and yet I still can't parallel park. Or, I guess I technically can, I just don't end up where I want to.
You can't park there, sir.
The UI is weird, strange even. It took me a while to get used to because of the retro art style. For a second I thought I was playing Pokemon Red on my purple Game Boy Color. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret here. Even now, I have no idea what most of the icons mean. But that's fine. I just go to the workbench and see if I have what I need. How about you go and item manage these nuts? Speaking of materials, this game will have you running around looking for them for hours at a time. You will feel the grind because there's scant else to do. No car-mounted machine guns or any enemies that actively fight you. But thank the heavens, it's a meaningful grind. Each trip feels like you've done something important with your time, like explored a new area, upgraded something, or continued the story. Pacific Drive is one of those games like No Man's Sky or Valheim, where your entire soul is absorbed into the grind. It is a PvE in the truest sense, so if you hear some creepy noises, just ignore them. Nothing is coming, and there is nothing out there. There is nothing to fear, but fear itself. In some ways, Pacific Drive is schizophrenic. It's designed to be a relaxing, resource-gathering game, but at the same time, the devs want you to be on edge. Edging, if you will.
No, I don't think I will.
That is not, by the way, meant to be interpreted as a request. The game will constantly play spooky alien noises and unsettling music, which I eventually got tired of because I just wanted to relax and turned all sound off. During the first few outings, you will constantly be looking over your shoulder. You're never actually in danger. The only supernatural threat is the ghost of Richard Hammond, who'll possess you and make you crash your car. But we adapt. We never stop. We drive through anomalies, demons, and red lights, staring directly into the map on the passenger's seat, like we're B-list actors performing a Hollywood car scene. Just a quick reality check, does that bother anyone else? I mean, they look directly at the side character next to them for a solid 10 seconds through highways and school zones. Personally, I approve of that behavior, but I know I'm in the minority. Let me make you think about something weird. When was the last time you ever saw an actor driving in a movie or TV series switch on their indicator? Yep, never. It's immersion breaking, a poorly constructed facade. They only pretend to drive. They are actors after all. But not us, because video games definitely count. If anything, cars were made to simulate early arcade racing games. It doesn't get more real than this. Also, I've barely mentioned it, but there is a story in this game. However, I know you'll be listening to a podcast on your second monitor the entire time, so it doesn't matter. The protagonist is silent and most of the time driving is dead air. It's 2024 and devs still haven't kicked the trend. I think everyone is worried about making their main character cringe, but just don't make them speak skibbity-ease. It's possible, I promise. And the reason they give for my character not having a mouth is that the car's transponder exploded. But then you consider that I can make all manner of technology, pimp my ride, and create a variety of supernatural gadgets and gizmos, and yet I can't make a microphone. They've attempted an in-universe reason for a silent protagonist only to contradict themselves immediately. Characters you'll be hearing a lot of include this angry grandma who yells at me all the time and triggers my trauma response. Also, these two gay nerds who show up occasionally and tell you about lore. Now, I wrote down a note, quote, gay nerds, in my MS Word doc like 3 hours into the game. It was just the vibe I was getting from them. Turns out, they actually are.
Francis, I love you forever.
I love you forever.
These gay nerds.
I should mention the lore is interesting, told through recordings and radio conversations. It's designed so that you can listen to it on the go. Hey, this is just like Dark Souls lore, only I don't have to literally stop the game to learn about it. The story is good despite its weaknesses. Having only 3 characters meant I had the time to care about them by the end. I would even go as far to describe the ending and character arcs as heartfelt. The story is told through a retro 80s aesthetic. At least that's what I think it is. I was born in the 21st century, so everything before the year 2000 exists perpetually in the 80s. Imagine my shock when I learned World War II wasn't 25 years ago. Pacific Drive has a solid identity and extremely unique gameplay. Fun on the bun, as they would say. I give Pacific Drive 3 burnt hot dogs. I'd say buy it on sale, but that's useless advice, because I buy everything on sale, even the stuff that deserves to be bought at full price. Editor, play my outro.